Well, I'm Corey D'Angelo. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist, and I am an assistant professor in the Nutrition and Exercise Science Department at Bastyr. I'm also the MSN DPD director of the program. I have worked at Bastyr for, this is my 9th year. A long time ago, I went to school at Bastyr, and so yeah, I'm the nutrition clinic coordinator at our university's teaching clinic, which is Bastyr Center for Natural Health, located in the Wallingford neighborhood of Seattle, if anybody is familiar with that. And I teach in both the first and the second year of the Master's in Nutrition program. So that's a little bit about me. Audrey, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, yes, thank you, Corey. My name is Audrey Hummel. I am a student at Bastyr. I'm in my second year of the Master's in Nutrition program, the DPD track, and I'm also the president of the Student Nutrition Association, which is kind of the student-led club for the department.
Okay, thank you, Corey and Audrey. I'm gonna bring my phone a little bit closer so hopefully my audio can be a little bit better. And again, like I said, my name is Fernanda Brusamolin, and I serve as the chair of the nutrition department. I'm actually based in California, so I teach mostly in our California program and also in our online degree program as well. So I just wanted to let you all know that, you're very welcome. And this is a very informal conversation about our programs. And we really wanted to be led by you. We wanted to address the questions that you might have for us. Of course, we are ready to jump in and talk about specific programs, but it would be great if you could tell us your name, where you're from, and the program that you would be interested in. I think that would be a great way for us to get to know each other. And I am happy to just go through the sequence of my screen, if that's okay with everybody. I will just call names, yeah? So TJ, you're the first on my list.
Hi, my name's TJ, and I'm interested in your Master's of Science, Integrative Nutrition. It looks like it's an online program. It's interesting that I love kind of the setup, which is why I'm interested in it, but I live in Kirkland. So I feel like it's kind of funny to take an online program when I live 10 minutes from campus. I think that's, and in fact, one of my questions that I have written on my little note here is, can online students that live in the area use the campus? Are there some optional classes we can take on campus, even though it's an online program? Is that something that's a possibility?
Great question. Hi, TJ. Thanks so much for being here and for your interest in the nutrition program. Yes. So we have, yes, our Masters of Integrated Nutrition is 100% online, is an asynchronous program. So it really is a great fit for those adult learners that have a full life and don't have, the time to either relocate or attend day classes. And, you being in Canmore doesn't exclude you from participating in the program, but it gives you the opportunity to yes, use the campus resources. So you would qualify as a student to use our library to participate in the events, which we have, for all of the students on campus. We are restarting our cafeteria very soon, so you could come and partake on that. So yes, that would be a great way to do that. And I would imagine that you could take some elective classes or some or audit some other courses that are in person on campus as well.
Okay, I just was, I'm looking at your outline, and I'm thinking, nutritional biochemistry, is that offered on campus as well, or is that always going to be online? And that's fine. I just was wondering.
Yeah, so for the online program, we specifically designed courses that can be only right. taken online, just to really differentiate, so the students that are across the country or all over the world don't feel like they're missing out.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, totally. I just was wondering if you've got a simultaneous program that's on campus, but you don't. It's only an online program. And then my next question was the content of the classes. Are they recorded lectures? Is there kind of, I think you're probably going to do introductions next, but I'm just kind of wondering, like, is it where we can listen to lectures, or is it just simply kind of independent only?
It's a combination. I would say it really depends on the course. Some courses are going to have a lot of recorded lectures. Some courses are going to have video. Some courses you will be required to do some videos and present and post it to the class. Some are 100%, reading resources and applying that to assignments. I'm glad to talk about the online program a little bit more. I'm sure more questions will come, but let's jump into Danielle. You're the next square on my screen.
Hi there, I'm Danielle. I also live in the Seattle area, and I'm interested in the Master's in Integrative Nutrition. I am a clinical psychologist, and I'm interested in integrating nutritional concepts and therapies into a traditional psychotherapy practice. So it's that's what drew me to your program, because I'm already in an established field, and I'm hoping to take concepts that I learned from you and apply them.
Yeah, I think that, really this program would feed very well into your example, because it's extra skills that you can apply to a practice that you already have. So I think that you would find definitely some pearls that could be used in your current practice for sure.
Great.
Thank you, Danielle. Celeste, how about you?
Hi there. I'm from California. I'm finishing up my undergrad. It's a DPD program, so I do want to be a registered dietitian, and I am interested in the online program as well.
So your interest in the online program would be to fulfill the requirement to then sit for the RD exam? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yes, we definitely have seen more of a shift on that need for sure. Yeah. Hi, Olga. How about you?
Hello. I am. I live in Bellingham, and in the next probably year, I don't know where I will be living. So might be back to Seattle, might be somewhere else. My primary interest is also in online course, but generally, I would like to learn about all of the options. I'm switching careers. My background is corporate marketing, and I'm looking for something else. And I took a nutrition course in Bellevue College last quarter and loved it, and got way more interested in the field. So just here to learn all the options available.
Yeah, thank you. I think that that's a great conversation that we can expand. Maybe after everybody introduces themselves, I would love to pass it on to Lori, and she can tell us a little bit about more of the scope of practice for registered dietitians. And, usually we like to start there, right? It's like, this is the scope. So what do you see yourself doing? And then that should determine the program that you choose. So we'll definitely talk about that in a little bit. Thank you. I think, Rachel, you were next in my square.
Hi. I actually got my bachelor's from Bastyr in nutrition and culinary arts at the Kenmore campus. And it's been a few years. And now I have my own company as a private chef. And so I'm just looking to dive a little deeper nutrition-wise.
Okay, do you have a program specifically that you're looking at?
I'm looking at the online one, just because at this point I can't really relocate.
Mm-hmm.
That seemed like a good option. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Rachel. Hi, Kate.
Sorry.
Good. We can hear.
Oh, there we go. Hi, everyone. My name's Kate. I live in the Seattle area as well. And I am interested in the combined master's in counseling psychology with nutrition. And I live locally and have loved Bastyr for many, many years and have been a patient. So I really think that would be a good match for me.
Mhm. All right, excellent. We can definitely talk a little bit program if you have specific questions for sure. Elise, I have you next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elise Kopecki. I'm a cookbook author, and I'm interested in the online program because I have a really busy career and two young kids, and I live in Bend, Oregon. I've been following Bastyr for years and was so excited to see that it's now offered online. And I have some questions about flexibility around schedules because I lead running retreats and I'm gone like 5 weeks out of the year. So I was just wondering about timing, if it's possible to work ahead and then catch back up. And then I also wanted to learn more about like the option to continue on and do a CNS certification, which I'm not very familiar with, but would be excited to learn a little bit more about that option.
Yeah, sure. We can talk about haven't we met before? I think we have.
Yes. We talked on the phone. I'm looking at probably enrolling in the fall. Yeah, and I just wanted to learn. Also, there's specific topics that I'm really interested in diving deeper in. So I was wondering if it's possible to do some self-study during the program, or if you do offer classes, particularly around microbiome and digestion and sports nutrition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you. I think we actually do have some courses and exactly microbiome and sports nutrition as electives that run for the in-person students. However, oftentimes they also are online. So I know that at least the sports nutrition, we do have every year in the spring, we have that elective that's online, and we could talk about how we could bridge that for you and you could partake on that. And I'm not 100% sure if the microbiome one is still online or not, but those are things that we can talk about for sure.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Let's see, I have Taryn. And and I just want to say, if you guys don't want to talk, that's okay. Just let me know. It's okay to just be here and listen as well.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, my name's. I have a background in healthcare and hospitality, but I'm interested in your online integrated nutrition program. I've always loved nutrition and wanted to find more deeper ways to connect in that.
All right, thank you, Terrence. Hopefully, with the question and answers, you get more insight into the program.
Thank you.
All right, so let's see.
Did you say Jenny?
She said Tammy.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You're
sorry,
next,
couldn't
Jenny.
hear.
Okay.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Tammy. I am from the Renton area, and I'm interested in the master's program in the DPT track. I recently graduated from my undergrad, so I've been looking into graduate programs, and so I would just love to learn more about the program here.
Yeah, thank you. So Corey will be able to share quite a bit about the program, and Audrey as well, as a student. So I think that'll be great. Jenny, now it's your turn.
Thanks. Sorry, I just heard the E at the end and I was like, ah. Anyway, hi, I'm Jenny. I too am in the Seattle area and am interested in the online integrative nutrition program. I'm a career changer as well. I was previously in human resources and interested in, I've been interested in nutrition for a lot of years and actually started because I have a business degree, started taking some science classes about 10 years ago and then had a few kids and kind of dropped it. And now I'm kind of back and back thinking about it. So I was really excited to see the online option.
Excellent. So, once we open for questions, please, all of you think about what specific questions you have about these programs, and we will dive a little deeper into that. Hi, Bella. How about you?
Hi everyone, I'm Bella. I'm based in LA and I'm also interested in the online integrative nutrition program. I work in corporate marketing for a restaurant company, so very interested in food and nutrition, healthy living. I want to move into a more food and nutrition focused role. So also kind of career change. And I also have a personal food blog on the side. So would love to expand that and apply nutrition principles. So that's what the program I'm interested in.
Right, great, thank you. Hi, Mirella, how about you? Did I say your name correctly? Mirella?
Hi, sorry, I had this code issues here. Yes, you said correctly, thanks. I'm originally from Brazil, so I apologize for my English if I say something wrong or have a bad accent. But now I live in Florida, and I'm also interested in integrated nutritional online course. I don't have a background in health care or anything related to this, quite the contrary. I come from the fashion and jewelry area, but I always wanted to work with, how can I say, like with the healthier side of people. And during COVID, I came to know IIM, and like I decided to totally geared my career and I'm very interested in nutrition now and health coaching. So, but I'm afraid once I don't come I don't have a background in health, that, you know, I'm afraid it might be something that I cannot follow up or won't be, I don't know, if I need something else.
Yeah, we definitely talk about that. I think that, you know, the way that we design the program, we will include some foundation courses for those that have not had that science background. So we can talk more about that, but you should be okay. E eu também sou brasileira.
Eu imaginei, eu achei, mas um mínimo de accent, eu achei que fosse, eu ia perguntar depois.
I am also, your accent is very
no, but you have a way better English and accent than I am. You probably are here for many years.
Many years. You're doing fine. Thank you so much. How about
one second? Can I ask you one more thing? Well,
yes.
Sorry. My other concern is, because I know Bastyr is a very renowned college, university. My only concern is the online program is pretty new, right? So you have only a year. So like, I just want to be sure. I know probably you took care of everything, but once again, I'm not from you said it's not a problem, but like that we're going to have all the, now I don't know what the words in English, all the, resources and everything that we need to succeed.
Yeah, so we are already started our second cohort, right? So we have a second group of students that started in winter. We're going to have a third group of students that started in the spring, that will start in the spring. So, but I don't know when you're planning on applying, but we would have gone through the courses a few times at least. And there's always improvement to be made in specific courses, but we put a lot of effort into developing them, and that's not just for the online program, it's for all of our programs. There is a huge amount of effort that goes, heavy lifting in the beginning. So, we make sure that we match all of the competencies in each course. So yeah, you're not going to be the very first one.
Thank you, appreciate it. And sorry for the noise, it was like Amber Alert, that always happens here in Florida. It was on my phone, something that I cannot control.
That's a problem. Okay, Elaine, how about you?
Hi, sorry. I'm Elaine, and sorry I look like this because I'm at work. But I'm Elaine, and I'm currently a diet tech, but I already finished my undergrad like in 2021, major in nutrition. and I also complete my dietetic internship. So I'm just currently like studying and sitting, waiting for passing the exam. But I would like to kind of like see how this career can like bring further. Like that's why I kind of want to like search more on like master degree. But yeah, nice to be here.
All right, thank you. And do you have a specific master's program that you are looking at? Is it the online or is it the in-person?
I think I would personally prefer the in-person one, but because I just started my research in master, so I may not have a very specific question, instead like more like a general one.
Okay, that's great. We'll get to that for sure. Thank you, Elaine. And I guess the last one I have is Jeanette.
Oh, hi, I'm Jeanette. I just want to know a little bit more about the program.
Okay, anyone specific?
The one online, please.
The online, okay. Well, thank you for sharing. I think that what I would like to do now is open for questions. And if we have specific questions that are in person or DPD related. So if you're thinking about going the registered dietitian route, let's get Corey's answers here. She is, the program director, and she can give you a great amount of insight. And even if you are considering, what is the path to become a registered dietitian, I would love to, if you have questions about that, that would be a great time to ask. And then we can dive into the online program after that.
Okay, sounds good. So yes, we have a Master's of Science in Nutrition and didactic program in dietetics in-person program. It's a 2-year long master's degree, and after which you're eligible to apply to the dietetic internship. So Bastyr does have its own dietetic internship, and they do a certain amount of spots for what we call pre-select or early admission into the dietetic internship. But it is not a coordinated program. So the internship is separate from the master's degree that you get through Bastyr. So you would have to apply to the internship. However, the internship does offer, they set aside half the spots as a pre-select option, so that you can be considered for that if you want to apply to that internship. So that's the overarching explanation of description of our program. We have very, very high placement rates into dietetic internships. So nationally, the placement rate is 40 to 50%. And at Bastyr, we are at 90 to 100% consistently of placing our students and our grads into dietetic internships. So we have a very high placement rate. We turn out very competitive candidates for the internship. And we focus on integrative. We teach, we are accredited. So we are accredited through Ascend, which is the accrediting body for the academy. And we also infuse in all of our classes integrative nutrition principles, including whole foods nutrition. And so we have a lot of extra fun classes like microbiome. We have whole foods production, which is one of our foundational classes on which the program was founded. And I think almost everybody in Bastyr in the school actually takes whole food production. But we also offer bioactive compounds. We also offer, I believe we're the only master's program in the country that has its own teaching clinic. So we have a university teaching clinic where our DPD students become student clinicians, and they actually see and provide direct patient care to community members, and they're supervised by a registered dietitian. So that's sort of the overarching. Fernanda, did you have something you were adding? Looks like Kate has a question.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I'm having all kinds of technical difficulties, but go right into the questions.
Okay.
My question was about the combined masters with the clinical psychology. I know they do a placement at the clinic in psychology. And if you did the combined program, is there something different through that program?
Yes. So the MACP program and the Masters of Science in Nutrition, that we have the dual degree where you basically get at the end of 3 years, you get, you're able to become a certified nutritionist in the state of Washington. So not a registered dietitian, but a certified nutritionist and also a mental health counselor associate, which you go on to do some supervised practice for that to get your mental health, to get your therapist licensure. And in that program, that combined program, you will be in 2 quarters of nutrition shift, same as the DPD students, but you will also do additional counseling shifts at the clinic, and that will be all in person at our university clinic in Wallingford.
Okay. And is it the same amount of, do you know if it's the same amount of the psychology, what did you call them, shifts, as you would in the just straight up psychology masters or counseling?
I would have to check.
Okay.
I would have to check with the chair of the counseling department on that. I run the nutrition side of it. So I know that you have multiple shifts, but I'm just not sure how many.
Okay, great. All right.
And I can check really quick in our website. So
Okay.
if any more questions, I'm just going to be looking here to find
Thank
it.
Did that answer your question?
Yes, that there would be shifts in both, and we'll find out if it's the same amount in the counseling psychology. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I think we have a question in the chat. Morella says, does this also apply for the integrative online master, the internship program? Morella, could you clarify that a little bit? Are you asking if people need to get an internship?
I think she meant the internship. Yeah, so if they could qualify for the internship, and my answer was no, because you have to have the DPD track to do that. Is that correct, Corey?
That's correct. So only the in-person offering, the DPD program, will allow you to be eligible to apply for an internship. And then after your internship, you're eligible to apply for the RDN exam and then become registered.
Do you know if that counts for every internship, not just Bastyr? Since I am interested in the online program, and then I do want to take my RD exam, would that be a...
And you have your DPD verification statement?
I will be getting it once I graduate, yeah.
So, and you're graduating with a bachelor's?
Yes.
Okay, so once you, this year, actually, this is the first year that the Academy is requiring a master's degree to be eligible to get an internship. So they changed, and they're requiring a master's degree to be a registered dietitian. So if you already have your DPD verification statement, Fernanda actually might be able to answer more questions about if the online masters will qualify for that or not?
Yes, so our master's degree does qualify for the RD requirement. Yes, so if you already have your DPD, you could take the master and yeah, and that will fulfill the academic requirement, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
I want to go back to the question about clinic shifts for the MECP program, the dual track. And there are 2 shifts that are called clinic shifts, but there's also 3 practicums that are, practicum and seminars. So that might be, I know that they match students with community sites. So you might not be in the Bastyr clinic, but you might be acquiring some hours in an outside place. So there's 3 practicums and 2 clinic shifts.
So the practicum is during your 3rd year of the program. I believe that was Kate who asked that question. So the MACP, the MSN MACP program, which is the combined Masters of Science in Nutrition and Counseling Psychology, that is a 3-year program. And during the 3rd year, you have a psychology practicum for the entire year, where you will be at an outside site in a community-based site.
Thank you. And so it sounds like then they're in the master's, that the clinic, the Bastyr clinic time is the same in either the combined or the just master's in counseling psychology by itself.
I believe so. That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. I think they said it's 6 months in the clinic. So does that equate to 2
2
shifts?
quarters.
2 quarters, yeah.
Okay, then great. Thank you.
Yes, you get 92 hours of clinical training, where you provide direct patient care so you get 44 basically for each shift, and then you do an additional 4. So it adds up to 92.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Danielle's asking to talk about the path to becoming a registered dietitian, and does the online program set you up for this if you have no prior background in nutrition? So the path for becoming a registered dietitian is that you have to complete coursework and complete a DPD, or didactic program in dietetics, degree, basically. And once you complete that degree, whether it's bachelor's or master's level, you get something called a verification statement that verifies that you've met all the requirements to apply for the internship. Now, this year, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics has laid new rules and new guidelines. So to become a registered dietitian, you now have to have a master's degree. So if we're taking the Bastyr as an example, we at Bastyr have a master's degree, and it's a combined master's degree and DPD certificate. And it's a 2-year in-person, program. And what happens is you take prerequisites, if you don't already have them, to get accepted into that program. And then you go through the program for 2 years. And then after that, you're eligible to apply to an internship, a dietetic internship. And that internship is anywhere from 6 to 10 months long. It's about 1,000 hours of supervised practice. And after you complete your internship, then you can sit for the RDN exam. And then you'll be registered nationally. So there's a lot of variety. You can move around. And then I hope I answered all your questions about that. And then Fernanda will speak to the other program.
Yeah, so the difference here is that for you to get into the path of becoming a registered dietitian, the crucial piece is the DPD. So you have to have a DPD program, which means a didactic program in dietetics, right? Some schools offer it in combination with a bachelor. Some schools offer just a DPD track. Bastyr offers a master's and a DPD because at the end of the day, you need both. So while the master's of integrative nutrition, our online program, does not give you the DPD track, right? It does not give you that. You could pursue it somehow, somewhere else, or if you already have it, that master's will fulfill the requirements for the master's degree that now, as Corey explained, now registered dietitians are required to have. So if you are starting from zero today, you have no nutrition academic background at all, and you want to become a registered dietitian, your quickest path would be to do a master's degree with the DPD, because in 2 years you can have 2 of those really, really big requirements that otherwise would probably take you more like 4. So yes. So
the program is designed for people who the program is basically, we design the program so that if you have no prior nutrition experience, you can take prerequisites and be admitted, and then you will be eligible to apply for an internship within 2 years.
Right. So then when we speak of the CNS certification, which stands for Certified Nutrition Specialist, which is a different certification, a credential that is gaining track, right? It's a alternative to the RD, to the registered dietitian, is gaining a lot of track. It's not as widely accepted nationally as the registered dietitian, but it's an option, right? It's an option for those students that don't have the interest of going the RD route, or don't have the time, or don't have the financial means, right? So the CNS is an alternative where you have to have a master's degree from an approved institution. So Bastyr is an approved institution for the CNS. So we fulfill the academic requirements for that credential. What happens after that is that you still need to acquire 1,000 practice hours on your own, which would be kind of equivalent to the internship, to then qualify to sit to their board exam. So it's a similar path, but you still have to match with a approved supervisor to seek those hours. So it can be done with any of our master's degree at Bastyr. So if you take the online program, you can still qualify for the CNS, but just know that the online program at this point does not offer any supervised practice hours, whereas our in-person programs, we are able to offer some hours. So that's the main difference there. And sorry, there was another question in the chat. Would you mind reading it for me, Corey? It's hard to.
Sure. So Rachel asks, I think this is the right one. How does the online program compare to the other nutrition master's programs in terms of depth of material, and if you already have a background in nutrition?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. The idea behind putting together the Masters of Integrative Nutrition is to if you imagine, a fruit basket of all of the best fruits that Bastyr can put forth, right, in a medium that is very accessible to that adult learner. So we have that whole foods approach. We have the food systems and food justice approach. We have research. We have some counseling. We have wellness and prevention in integrative nutrition. So those are aspects of what we are really known at Bastyr, and we package that in a way that can be very easy for that adult learner. The difference is obviously if you're in person, especially with the MSN DPD or the California program that is the Master of Wellness and Health Coaching, they do have more in-person practice, right? They have more of the, especially the MSN-DPD, I would say the level of biochemistry that you're going to have in that program is really, really high. It's a very, very intense program. Our Masters of Science in Nutrition only has a really specific research track. So if you want to be a researcher or go on to maybe into a PhD program, that would give you that experience to actually write your thesis. So, you know, they are different because the in-person programs are much more specific to career outcomes, and the online program is more an overview of integrative nutrition. And I hope that answers it.
And then Mirella asks, but this one, the 2-in-1, is just in person, correct? Mirella, do you mean the MSN DPD? I think that's what you mean.
Yeah.
That is in person. Yes. We don't have an online offering for that. Okay, she already answered. Okay, good, good. TJ says, is the MSIN online an accredited program?
Yes, yes, we are accredited by the Western Commission, which is the accrediting body that accredits all of our other nutrition master's program. The difference between the DPD is that it needs the accreditation from the academy, right? So it has an extra level of accreditation, but all of our master's programs are accredited.
Yeah, so the DPD has a further accreditation by Ascend, which is the accrediting body for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Elaine says, can international students apply to the master program in-person one? Yes, I believe so. We've had other international students. Fernanda, do you know more about that?
Yeah, I think that you can. The admissions advisors are going to be the best people to answer specific questions. If you have your transcripts, for example, in another language, you might be required to have them translated by a official translator, but they will be able to tell you, and then we will review the transcripts and we'll see if there are any prereqs that are missing, or if everything is good to go. So yes, we take international students to all of our master's programs, all of them. It's just a matter of contacting our admissions advisors.
And TJ asks, can you talk about what the online program classes are?
Sure. So TJ, have you had a chance to look at the curriculum map for the program on the website?
I have looked at the outline where it lists all the classes, and it'll say like term 1, TR 5100, TR 5101, but I wasn't able to find a course description.
Okay.
Is that online and I missed the course description? And then my next question would be, I asked this earlier, like videos, podcasts, like how does the class sort of feel as an online program?
Yeah, so I want to click on the curriculum link to see.
I'd love it. I couldn't find it.
Sometimes it's really real tricky. So if you go to the website, and it's the Bastyr University Smart Catalog on programs, nutrition, and then you'll see Masters of Science in Integrative Nutrition. And I really wish I could share my screen right now, but we're having issues. So if you scroll down from that program, you will see the degree requirements, and then there's a list of programs, and you have the terms and the classes and the course numbers, which you mentioned, ONTR 51100, they are links. So if you click on that, that should take you to the catalog, but it's really not taking you to the catalog. Okay.
Right. I mean, I found the course outlines. I just didn't find course descriptions or what to expect, when I take that class, as far as, the learning didactic program, how it's set up, so to speak.
So tricky here. If you click on them on the website, there is there's something that's kind of funky. It's some blue letters that come up right below it, and it says, "Oh, catalog for this course." So if you click on catalog page for this course, you're going to get a little bit more of a course description there. And that's a really funky way. I just realized that. Yeah. But you can definitely see the course description for each one of them, or you can go directly to the catalog. So if you go to the Bastyr catalog, then you will be able to find all course descriptions. So let me talk.
I'll try again. I already tried doing exactly what you said, but I'll try again. I must have missed something. No
And
problem.
Email me and I can send you those Word documents, so that if that's easier, I can definitely do that. But let me talk a little bit about the setting of the class. And they run in a different schedule of Bastyr, right? So they're not the same academic calendar. They are 7 long for each course, and you take one course at a time. So it's very adult learner friendly, right? So you can log in at night and just there's there one course, and there's usually one assignment on Wednesday and one assignment on Sunday, and you have to post a couple of responses throughout the week to your peers, right? So you log in, module 1, you're gonna have a list of resources. You're gonna explain what you're gonna be learning and the learning outcomes that you're expected to accomplish. And then you're gonna have usually a discussion post. So give you an example, we're talking about plant-based versus, animal protein consumption. And I'm going to ask you to write a discussion analyze from your perspective as a future integrative nutritionist. How would you counsel a client, right? So based on what you had, which can be lectures, it can be videos, it can be articles, it can be a textbook, you then can read that and then, put out your perspective on it. You comment on some peers, and then you're going to get my feedback along the way.
Great. Thank you.
Sure. Celeste, I know you have your hand up for a while, so I want to honor that.
Oh, it's fine. I was interested in what you guys are talking about anyways. So this is kind of a question for both of you, but mostly Corey, since you are in charge of the DPD program. I am kind of in that dilemma where I'm trying to figure out if I want to do the master's as a DPD program, like a dietetic master's, or do this online integrative program. So because I want to be an RD, I don't necessarily want to be a clinical RD, but I still want to have that as an option. I just want to know if you have any advice, like what you would kind of do if you should go like the strictly dietetic route or kind of do this integrative route. I just don't know.
Well, I think that our DPD program prepares people to work in a variety of settings. So, we definitely teach all of the clinical aspects, and we also teach counseling. So we have a counseling course that, for a while other schools didn't have. I'm not sure what the status is of that now, but counseling is so important. And so we teach counseling. We integrate, mindfulness and mindful eating and intuitive eating. And so you get a lot of experience, and, Audrey might actually be able to answer this better than I can, but so I think if you want sort of a deeper, it's my understanding that the online program gives more of like an overview of integrative and functional nutrition. Is that right, Fernanda? And
well, I guess the easiest way for me to answer that is that the online program is not a clinical program. So you're not having client interaction, right? You're be prepared to, analyze, biomarkers to the extent of maybe a registered dietitian would, or somebody with the, functional nutrition background would want to do. That for that level of of detail, I would definitely suggest, if you want the detail, gold standard of nutrition profession, I would say the DPD, the RD is the way to go. And I say that because, and I teach in all of the other programs, so they're all valuable, but it's very important for me, for all of you to understand that if you want to graduate from school and Google a job, right, the easiest path to employment is being a registered dietitian, right? If that's why I said, the online program is great if you already have a practice, or if you want to complement, or if you want to get started in the field, that's great. But if you want to work at a hospital, become a registered dietitian, because that's the clear path. And I don't know if you would agree with me there, Corey.
But I think you have a DPD though, so you're sort of in an interesting situation where, do you know what you want to do? Like, do you want to? Yeah, do you know what you want to do? Because you don't have an integrative DPD, right?
No, it's just a
Yeah.
regular DPD. I eventually would like to have my own counseling practice. I know that's going to take time. So my plan is kind of just like to work in clinical and then have that on the side. That's why I'm just kind of trying to figure out what would be better.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to work, well, actually, I can't really speak to the CNS because I'm not super familiar with it. But if you want to, if you want more counseling, and you want more counseling experience, the DPD program will definitely provides that. You'll get classes that focus on counseling, and then you'll also get the in-person university teaching clinic where we do a lot of integrative nutrition counseling. And Audrey, do you want to add anything here about?
Yeah, I can kind of echo a lot of what you said, Corey. I think I chose the MSN DPD program because I wanted to become a registered dietitian. I don't know if I want to work in a hospital yet, but I feel like being able to have that RDN licensure certificate, it gives you a lot more options in places that you can work. So that's why I was really interested in it. And even though it is a more clinically focused program, it really does integrate all of the integrative and functional things that Bastyr is known for into all of our classes as well, which is why I really like the program.
Mm-hmm. And
sorry, go ahead, Corey.
I was just going to say, Celeste, if you also want to reach out afterward and we can set up a Zoom meeting, and if you want to just talk deeper about it, I would be happy to meet with you and just talk with you about your questions. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you. That's everything you guys said is exactly what I needed to hear, just to kind of figure everything out, because like you said, I'm in a unique situation. It's kind of difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's welcome. Important to understand that, the MSN DPD is a great program. It is very intense. So if you don't need to do that again, right? I mean, time is of the essence, and time is money, right? So it's a huge investment of your time. And that's why we have different options. And I am not a registered dietitian, so, I can definitely speak about scope of practice without the DPD or without the RDN. And I know there's a question in the chat about that. So depending on the state that you are, this is so important. Depending on the state, right, you are able to practice, to have a private practice, a counseling practice in nutrition without being a registered dietitian. So I know for sure that in the state of California, with a master's degree, I can see my own patients, right? My scope is still limited. I'm still not going to be able to order blood work or, do that kind of stuff, but I am able to do that. Now, if you are in, I don't know all of them, but I think if you are in Florida, Tennessee, Oklahoma, maybe Georgia, you have to have a registered dietitian to do anything related to nutrition. So really depends on the state that you're at.
And Elise, you're in Oregon, right? You're in Bend, did you say? You can check the Department of Health's website for Oregon and look up what the certifications are needed, and then the scope. So like in Washington State, a certified nutritionist, well, actually this would be, sorry, I'm actually speaking out of line because I'm not addressing the online MS degree, but you can take a look at the scope still at the Department of Health website for any state. And then TJ's asking about, can you address upcoming dates for online? So TJ asked earlier, can you see the questions, Fernanda?
Some of them. So I know, start dates for the online. We have 3 cohorts per year. So we have one that starts in the fall, one that starts in the winter, and one starts in the spring. So we are still accepting applications for the spring. I think that it starts around May, and I can't be sure of the day, but I can double check. So, I will share my email at the end of this, so you guys can email me if you have any questions, or you can go on our website and ask to speak to an advisor, and they will give you all of the information. But 3 cohorts per year. And then I know there was a question about electives for the masters online. They are not required, right? So the program does not require any electives for graduation. It is the curriculum. However, if there are online electives from other programs, you might be able to sign up. And I say might because, again, remember the academic calendar is different. So the quarters are different. The tuition is different. So, there are some differences there, but definitely something that we can work through the system. Oh, thank you. So Jeannie checked out May 8th is the spring start day. And thank you for sharing my email, Corey. I wanted to honor Audrey's time too. Is there any questions from a student perspective that you guys would like to hear? And I know we're running out of time. I'm happy to stay behind a few more minutes. So if any of you have more specific questions, I'm happy to stay. If some of you have to go, this has been a pleasure. We will follow up with you with some communication from Bastyr. And if you have specifics, you can meet with me. If you email me, we can set up Zoom meetings as well. And I know Corey offered that as well. So we would be delighted to talk further with you about any of our programs. And there's Corey's email.
And I know Danielle had a question, but it's really nice to meet everybody. If you have any other questions about the DPD, please feel free to reach out to me. We'll set up a Zoom meeting, or I'm happy to email with you. Yeah, nice to meet everybody from all over and local. So yeah, so yeah, let's talk to Danielle.
Yeah, and some folks messaged me to set meetings after this. Yes, please email me and we will get back to you, and we can definitely schedule some one-on-ones, and I can really go over the whole program. So Mirella, that was for you. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. If there are more questions, I'm happy to stay. Thank you, Audrey, for being here.
I think Danielle had a question. So
I was just wondering what the scope of practice is with solely the online masters in living in Washington State. I want to make sure, so I want to practice nutritional psychology. I have a doctoral level psychologist, so I'm covered clinically in that way, but I want to make sure I'm practicing within the scope of practice, ethically, to integrate nutritional therapy into mental health practice, because there's a ton of research coming out right now talking about food's impact on mental wellness.
Definitely. I would say your best bet, because I haven't been in Washington State for quite a few years, but I did graduate from Bastyr from Washington, and I did have my certified nutritionist credential from Washington Department of Health. However, things might have changed. So
Well, I think if you're, so I can definitely speak to if you get the MSN only in person. And then you become a certified nutritionist in Washington State and you can practice nutrition. But I'm actually not clear, just because I'm not involved in too much in that program, I'm not actually clear on the online MSIN. Are people eligible to become certified nutritionists in Washington State after they've completed that program?
I want to say I'm pretty sure yes, because again, last time that I checked, the requirement for the credentials were you have to have a accredited master's degree in nutrition. And we have an accredited master's degree in nutrition. However, I have not checked to see if there's any specifics about being it online or not. So I can go back to the website and dig a little bit. But again, as far as I'm concerned, is an accredited master's degree in nutrition. We offer that unless they are not accepting it online. It should be okay. But again, I tell all of my prospect students, please go and look with your own eyes at those, those government agencies, because they really are the ones that set the rules. We don't. And sometimes things can change, and I would hate to give you the wrong information.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all your help and answers. Have a good night.
Thanks. You too. It was nice to meet everybody. Reach out with any questions.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.